Hi everyone, I wanted to throw in a segment about meal organization. So there's a few different ways, but let's say you're just coming home and you want a system to put together an easy, quick meal using whatever you have in your refrigerator. So let's start at the base. And you could use any type of like rice or grains of your choice. A couple other options that would also be fun and exciting are using sweet potatoes. So sweet potatoes store really well over the winter time, and we're just going to chop it up or slice it or even shred it. So if you have a cheese grater or a shredder of that kind, you can easily shred some of the sweet potato. Another option are Jerusalem artichokes or sunchokes. There's two different names. They have a nutty flavor to them. We don't want to consume large amounts of them because they can cause a little bit of flatulence or digestive discomfort if you eat too much. So small amounts, but it adds a really nice flavor and texture. Similar to a potato, it is a tuber, just like a potato is. Then we have a purple Daikon radish. So we're going to leave this fresh. So if you have any radishes or Daikon, you could either shred it and keep it fresh, or you could slice it thin and keep it fresh, but we're gonna save this to put on top of our meal. So we start with our potato or sunchoke or a little bit of both, or whatever type of grain that you choose. And then we're going to think about what protein we're gonna use. So I have an example of eggs, which is a really easy, quick protein to have at dinner, where you can just throw it in the pan. You could even bake it in the oven while you're cooking the other vegetables. There's plenty of options. So eggs, and then tempeh is that plant protein that we were talking about in the pantry systems, and that has just as many grams as protein as chicken does. So it's a really great option for either substituting or creating completely new recipes using the tempeh. And I like to either slice it thin and then pan sear each side of it using either like a ghee, olive oil, coconut oil. There's plenty of different cooking oil options. And then we're going to choose like a couple vegetables that you may choose to just keep fresh, or you may try to cook them where you're roasting them or sauteing them to add into the dish. So we have plenty of carrots here. These are rainbow carrots, lots of baby ones that we were actually able to find local. So sometimes you still can find local vegetables year round depending on where you're at. So we can either leave these raw or cook them. Then we're going to think about greens. So this is a local spinach. Spinach is great because it's a little bit more of a cold weather crop, so you can find it more often locally in this early spring and in the late fall. So we're going to use some spinach, and then we're going to think about adding a ferment. So this is a sauerkraut that actually has turmeric and a lot of other spices in it. I was able to find one locally. Sometimes if you're interested, it's actually a really great project to make one. Super easy. You can easily look it up and follow the instructions. Then we're gonna think of like a sauce, or sometimes just using like a little bit of citrus, like a lime, squeeze of lime, squeeze of lemon. You could always like drizzle a sauce or use a yogurt. So this is an almond milk yogurt. You could use any of the cow's milk yogurt, coconut milk yogurt. And then toppings. So toppings is next. I like to add a little bit of crunch, maybe like a tad more protein and fiber. So seeds, these are sunflower seeds, would be a great option just for a little nutrient boost. And then if you're into like seaweed or dulse or kelp seasoning, this is a sesame seed and seaweed spice mix that you could do a little sprinkle on top. So how we would put this together is we would cook, if you wanted to use all one pan, you would chop up your sweet potato and or your sunchokes. You would start cooking them with some oil, whether it's ghee or olive oil. And then if you wanted to cook the carrots, you could easily throw them in. After everything in the pan gets a little tender, then you can think about cooking your egg or cooking your tempeh, whichever way you choose. You could actually cook it in the same pan. After everything is cooked, then you're gonna toss in your greens, let those wilt for a little minute, and then you can transfer all of your ingredients that were cooked in one pan into a bowl or onto a plate, and then put your toppings. This could be easily incorporated into some type of meal preparation for the week, or it could just be a quick 10-minute dinner that you could easily make when you get home and sit down and admire everything that you just created.